In Taylor Swift's song The Black Dog, when she mentions the starting line, she's not talking about the emo punk band from Pennsylvania. She's talking about the song The Starting Line by the UK band Keane. And this is actually one of the key details that points to The Black Dog being about Joe Alwyn. By the way, I'm Mary, and I analyze Taylor Swift songs from the perspective of a songwriter and a former English teacher. In my deep dives into the Torture Poets department, one of the things that I talk about is how the lyrical evidence in this album points to a lot of the songs being about Joe Alwyn, and how Maddie Healy is not a villain in Taylor's story, but rather a supporting character, one that I believe she's still friends with. I know a lot of people will point to the fact that Maddie Healy covered a song by The Starting Line, and how that seems to be a clear sign that Taylor is referring to him in The Black Dog. But if you've been following my series, you know I talk about how Maddie Healy is the red herring that Taylor has mentioned for this album. In my deep dive into songs like The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, Guilty as Sin, or the Fortnite music video, we looked at how Taylor has been repeatedly telling us in her music that her connection with Maddie Healy was not a significantly romantic one, and how the public relationship that we witnessed between her and Maddie was actually a performance stunt in reaction to a huge betrayal by Joe. And that's a whole other conversation for another time, but for now, let's get back to the lyrics of The Black Dog. So how do we know Taylor is not talking about the band, The Starting Line? She tells us in the official lyrics. I'm not talking about her lyric video. I'm talking about the official lyrics on Spotify. The lyrics on Spotify are licensed and synced by Musicsmatch, and to have verified lyrics on Musicsmatch, you need to be a verified artist. So this means whatever lyrics we see on Spotify, these are the official lyrics from Taylor. And we can see that she puts the starting line in quotation marks, which is how you refer to the title of a song. And Taylor actually reiterates this when she says in the lyrics, "You jump up, but she's too young to know this song." So now that we know Taylor is talking about a song and not the band, The Starting Line, how do we know that she's specifically talking about the song by the band Keane? For me, there are two major clues. One, we know that Taylor has been a longtime fan of Keane. During her Speak Now tour, she featured different lyrics on her arm, and one of those lyrics was from a song by Keane. And as a singer-songwriter myself, who's in the same generation and music genre as Taylor, Keane was and is a favorite for many singer-songwriters from this time. The band is known for their beautiful melodies and emotional and introspective lyrics. The second reason why the song by Keane makes sense is because it's consistent with Taylor's storytelling about her relationship with Joe. I've talked about this before. When analyzing Taylor's songs, one of the most important things to do is to ask the question, is this particular interpretation consistent with Taylor's storytelling? If we look into this song, we'll find that the answer is yes. The song The Starting Line by Keane is about being in a really low place in a relationship and trying to gather up the strength and will to continue trying to make it work. The verses of the song paints a picture of a couple that's been through a lot of hard times in their relationship, where maybe once upon a time everything was great, but now everything feels hopeless. The song says, "Do you fear for what we have become? We stumble from day to day," and how love won't rest till it brings you to your knees. You think you've done your journey, then you stumble and find that there's such a long way to go. And in the chorus of the song, the person encourages their partner to drag your heart up to the starting line, meaning let's try again and not give up on our relationship. When you consider this as the meaning of the song The Starting Line, it becomes clear who Taylor is talking to in The Black Dog, and why she would refer to the song as one that was intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming. She's talking to Joe about how this song was meaningful to them as they tried over so many years to make their relationship work. And we know that was indeed their relationship because Taylor has written extensively across multiple albums about her struggles with Joe. The idea of having to drag your heart up to the starting line and to try again and again and not give up on a relationship was exactly what Taylor experienced with Joe. See this in the song You're Losing Me, a vault track from the Midnights album that Taylor wrote nearing the final year of her relationship with Joe. She says, "Do I throw out everything we built or keep it? I'm getting tired even for a phoenix, always rising from the ashes." Taylor is asking herself, do I leave this relationship or keep on trying? Because I'm tired from all these cycles of ups and downs. Taylor also mentions having tried again and again to make things work in her poem for the album. She writes, "Tried wishing on comets, tried dimming the shine, tried to orbit his planet, some stars never align." She's saying despite all these years of her trying all different things to make their relationship work, she and Joe just couldn't make it. At the end of their relationship, Taylor reflects on everything that led to their breakup in the song So Long London. She again recalls having tried everything, saying, "I kept calm and carried the weight of the rift, pulled him in tighter each time he was drifting away. My spine split from carrying us up the hill." And Taylor tells us that eventually, I stopped trying to make him laugh, stopped trying to drill the safe. I stopped CPR. Taylor and Joe broke up because she could no longer drag her heart up to the starting line. She had nothing left in her to try again. She was done. So in The Black Dog, Taylor mentions the song The Starting Line by Keane because it's meaningful to her and Joe. And what the song tells us is also consistent with Taylor's storytelling about their relationship. The fact that they had tried again and again over the years to resolve their problems, but ultimately couldn't make it work. What the song The Starting Line also does is that it gives us context for understanding the complex and sometimes conflicting feelings that Taylor struggled with as she grieved her breakup with Joe. If the song is about gathering up the strength to try again and not give up, and this was the guiding belief that was intertwined in the fabric of their dreaming for their relationship, then we can see why Joe was quoted as saying to her in the song So Long London that she was abandoning ship, that she was just giving up. We can then understand why Taylor's grief was accompanied by doubt in so many of the songs on the Tortured Poets department. She was questioning herself if she did give up too soon, that maybe if they tried one more time, this time everything would work out. This is why she would say in The Black Dog, "Old habits die screaming." This is why she would be tormented by the what-ifs in the song Chloe or Sam, saying, "Well, I always wonder." This is why she had to remind herself in the song Fresh Out the Slammer that it's gonna be all right, I did my time. Meaning, I did give this relationship everything I had. I did try hard enough. And this is one of the things that I love about Taylor's songwriting. It's one of her strengths, her ability to describe nuanced emotions. On the Tortured Poets department, she tells the story of leaving what she felt like was a toxic relationship and experiencing both relief and grief at the same time. She's able to illustrate heartache that aches with longing and pain that is tinged with anger. And we see this complexity in The Black Dog. By the way, what Taylor alludes to in The Black Dog is what she also talks about in The Smallest Man, which I've discussed in detail, about how Joe was avoiding her and had betrayed her in a way she found unforgivable. So in The Black Dog, Taylor is wrestling with complex and conflicting feelings. On one hand, she's heartbroken and pained by having to imagine the person that she thought she was going to be with forever move on, and what's more, seemingly not care that he had hurt her. She says in verse 1 that it pierces new holes in my heart, and how I just don't understand how you don't miss me. But at the same time, Taylor knows that he's not right or good for her. She says in chorus 2, "Do you hate me? Was it hazing? For a cruel fraternity I pledged, and I still mean it. Old habits die screaming." She's saying he has hurt her in so many ways, yet she still loves him. One of the most heartbreaking and relatable things is how Taylor recognizes how toxic and damaging it is to love someone who's so wrong for you. She says in the bridge, 6 weeks of breathing clean air, I still miss the smoke. And she talks about how to fully get over him, she might need to sell my house and set fire to all my clothes and hire a priest to come and exorcise my demons. And finally, Taylor rests upon her anger and ends the song with the sentiment that, I hope things are shitty for you, because tail between your legs you're leaving. She knows and Joe knows why she would feel this way. This is the same sentiment she ends The Smallest Man with, when she says, you are what you did, I'll forget you, but I'll never forgive. He's dead to her now, and there's no way that she would ever get back with him ever again. This is why she ends The Black Dog with, I still can't believe it, 'cause old habits die screaming. Meaning she can't believe they're really over this time, because she never thought they could or would be broken up for good. Multiple people have mentioned this in my comments as proof that Taylor Swift has been a longtime fan of the band The Starting Line, and how that proves that the song The Black Dog is about Maddie Healy. So I need to talk about this, because this information is inaccurate. What the commenter is talking about is that in 2008, USA Today did an article featuring the songs that Taylor was listening to at the time on her iPod. A few years ago, a Spotify playlist was created based on this article. The original list had about 500 songs, and this playlist features about 170 of them. The creator of this playlist is Brian Mansfield, and that is the name of the writer for that USA Today article. Even though he's not verified on Spotify because he's not an artist, I do think this is really him. So as you can see, the song The Best of Me by The Starting Line is on this playlist. This is the same song that was covered by Matty Healy, which led people to tie it to Taylor. But this song was never on the original list from Taylor's iPod in 2008. It was added to this playlist after the release of the Torture Poets Department, specifically after Matty Healy covered it. If you go online, you can find the original list of nearly 500 songs from Taylor's iPod in 2008. As you can see here, this list is alphabetical by artist, and The Starting Line is not on it. This is a screenshot of the playlist from back when it was first created in 2020, and you can see that the song by The Starting Line is not on this list. But if you look today, The Best of Me by The Starting Line is number 2 on this list, and you can see that it was added April 24th, 2024. Not only was this song added to this list after the release of the Torture Poets Department on April 19th, 2024, it was added to this list specifically after Matty Healy covered this song on April 23rd. And they moved it to the top of the list just so everyone can see it. This is honestly why I think theories about Taylor and Matty are so easily perpetuated, because of things like this. People see this and they are misled into believing in something that was never there to begin with. So as I said in my previous video, Taylor is not talking about the band The Starting Line. She's talking about a song which I explained points to Joe.